They told you witchers feel no pain. They lied. They told you we have no hearts. Another lie. We feel everything. The bite of cold steel, the burn of venom in our veins, and the sickening taste of the lesser evil. Are you ready to know what it's like when the world sees you as a savior and a freak at the same time? Forget everything you knew. Today you are not a spectator. Today you are the white wolf. Live the story, don't just watch it. Your name was erased before you even learned to hold a knife. Forget it. It no longer belongs to you. You are merely raw material, a 10-year-old pup thrown into the gears of fate. Look at this hall, Kaer Morhen, the Witcher's Keep. To ordinary folk, it's a fortress of legends. To you, it's a slaughterhouse where only 3 out of 10 survive. The rest become fertilizer for the surrounding forests. Do you smell that? That's the scent of the trial of the grasses. They pour it down your throat through a funnel. Your body begins to burn from the inside out. It's not just pain, it's a molecular-level restructuring of your DNA. Your bones break and knit back together, becoming stronger than oak. Your muscles densify, turning into sinews of steel. Your heart, it stops, once, twice. The old Witcher Master watches your convulsions with indifference. If you die, you were weak, but you didn't die. You open your eyes and the world turns into a chaos of sounds and colors. Your pupils stretch into vertical predator slits. You see a speck of dust dancing in the air. You hear a mouse's heart beating 3 walls away. You are no longer human. You are a mutant, a freak. But this is exactly what will allow you to survive where kings beg for death. Now, look at what will become your skin for the next 50 years. Your swords. You carry 2, not because you're that cool, though you are. The first, steel, forged from siderite ore. Weight about 3 pounds, balanced at the hilt for lightning-fast pirouettes. This blade is for people, for deserters, rapists, and kings who forget that their necks are also made of flesh and blood. The second, silver. Pure silver over a steel core. Fragile, temperamental, expensive. It hums in a special way when monsters are near. It's your only argument in a debate with a bruxa, a ghoul, or a leshy. Without it, you're just a corpse in fancy armor. Your armor. Forget heavy knight's plate. It restricts movement, and a witcher lives by speed alone. Your choice is a studded leather jacket, reinforced with chainmail at the shoulders and chest. It smells of sweat, old oil, and blood. It must fit like a second skin, so you can perform a vault or a semi-pirouette in a split second. Every stud, every strap is a chance for a monstrous claw to slide off. Your elixirs. In your pouch, death in glass vials. Thunderbolt to make your strikes crush bones. Swallow to heal wounds mid-battle. Black blood, so even your corpse becomes poison to anything that dares bite you. You drink them, and your face becomes a mask of death. Veins turn black, eyes fill with darkness. You pay with your health for the right to be faster and stronger than any creature on this earth.
You step beyond the gates of Kaer Morhen, a crown in your pocket, the reins of your first roach in your hands. The world seems vast and beautiful. You don't yet know that around the first bend, a rotting swamp, starving peasants, and a choice that makes you want to howl at the moon await. Your first contract, not a dragon, not a powerful sorcerer, just a drowner on a muddy riverbank. The peasants promise 30 crowns. You draw the silver. You feel the adrenaline hit your temples. The first strike. Your blade cuts through the rotting flesh like butter. You won. You bring the monster's head to the alderman, and you see no gratitude in his eyes, only fear and loathing. He tosses the coin purse into the mud like you're a stray dog. In that moment you realize you saved them, but you will never be one of them. You will always be the outsider, the one they call when they're terrified, and the one they kick out when the danger has passed.
Blaviken, a small town that will become your personal hell. You came for information and walked into a trap. On one side, the sorcerer Stregobor, locked in his tower. On the other, Renfri, the Shrike, a girl with a broken past and a thirst for revenge that will burn everything down. They both ask the same thing: choose a side, choose the lesser evil. But you're smart, you're a witcher. You say, evil is evil, lesser, greater, middling, it's all the same. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. Pretty words, right? Too bad they don't work in real life. When you realize Renfri is going to massacre the entire market to smoke out the sorcerer, you step onto the square. You are no knight. You are a surgeon sent to amputate a gangrene. The fight. This isn't a fairy tale duel, it's a meat grinder. Your first opponent lunges, you evade with a semi-pirouette, and your blade opens his throat before he can blink. Blood splatters your face, it's warm and smells of iron. You feel no pity, you are in a trance.
Second, third. You move so fast you're just a blurred gray shadow to the naked eye. The ring of steel on steel screams, death rattles. And then only she remains, Renfri, the girl you shared a bed with only yesterday. You see the fear in her eyes, but her hand with the dagger does not shake. One precise lunge, steel enters below the ribs. She falls into the dust, her life bleeding out onto the filthy cobblestones. And then comes the silence. You look at the townspeople you just saved, expecting applause, expecting thanks. The first stone flies at you, then the second. Get out, freak, butcher, murderer. You leave without looking back. That day you learned the ultimate lesson. The work continues. You are in Wyzim, a contract for 3,000 orens. But this isn't just a hunt, it's suicide. You aren't meant to kill the monster, you're meant to cure it. The Striga, King Foltest's daughter, born of incest and a curse. Check your gear before tonight. Leave the steel, take the silver chain. Pull the elixirs from your pouch. Cat to see in the absolute darkness of the crypt. Swallow for regeneration, and golden oriole against poison.
Your face is white as chalk. Your pupils are vast black abysses. You sit in an old sarcophagus and wait. She comes, a massive heap of muscle, claws, and primal rage. She leaps from the dark. You don't strike with the sword. You need to survive until dawn. It's a dance with death. You cast Quen, the magic shield flares gold as the Striga's claws strike with the force of a ram. You cast Yerden, the magic trap that slows the beast's movements. She tears your skin. Her claws rip through your leather jacket like paper. You feel your own blood flowing. But you must wait, the first ray of sun. She falls, turning back into a small, frightened girl. You won.
You survived. You earned your gold and new scars on your neck that will ache every time it rains for the rest of your days. Years fly by like frightened horses. You tried to be a loner. You tried to run from the world's fate, but destiny is a bitch you can't hide from. The law of surprise. You claimed what a man already had but did not yet know. And then Sintra is in flames. Black Nilfgaardian cloaks flood the streets with blood. You see kings fall and walls crumble. You find her in the woods among the refugees. Ciri, your child of destiny. A little girl in a dirty dress who hugs you as if she is your entire world. In that moment, your life breaks. You are no longer a mercenary. You are a father, a protector, and for her, you are ready to burn this world to ash. You take her to Kaer Morhen, to the place where they tortured you, but you won't let them make a mutant out of her. You will teach her to fight like a witcher, but you will keep her human. You show her how to hold a sword, how to feel the balance, how to strike with the wrist, not the whole arm. You see yourself in her, and you realize this is your most important contract, and the reward isn't gold, it's hope. Witchers and magic, like fire and gunpowder, beautiful until it blows up in your hands. You always despised sorcerers for their arrogance, their intrigues, for the way they play with lives like chess pieces. But fate is an ironic bitch. She binds you to Yennefer of Vengerberg, the scent of lilac and gooseberries. Now that aroma is a harbinger of either great passion or inevitable catastrophe. Your gear against magic. When you go against a mage, your swords are almost useless. You need dimeritium. Dimeritium bombs, dragon's dream, or samum, packed with dust of this anti-magic metal. One blast, and a haughty mage turns into a frightened trickster who can't even light a candle. You drink Philippa, an elixir that sharpens your reaction to the limit, letting you see the trajectory of an incoming fireball. You use heliotrope, the ultimate defense, where time slows for you and you simply step aside while the magic consumes the air where you stood a second ago. Your life with her is an eternal battle. You love her because she's the only one who looks at you not as a mutant, but as an equal. But the price is the constant risk of being caught in a magical storm. You get dragged into their games. You become one of them at royal courts, but you never forget. Your place is in the mud, on the trail, not on the silk sheets of sorceresses. A witcher isn't just fast legs and a sharp sword. It's intellect. You are a detective of death. Before drawing your blade, you study the tracks. A snapped branch, bone fragments, the scent of droppings. Preparation is 90% of success. If you only draw your sword when the monster leaps, you're already a corpse. A witcher wins before the fight begins. Tools of death. Look at your hands. You pull out your alchemy set. It's not just a hobby, it's your portable laboratory. You craft bombs. Northern wind, a mixture of salts and magic dust. One throw, and the area freezes, turning the enemy's flesh into brittle glass. Devil's puffball, a cloud of toxic gas. You enter it without fear, because your lungs have mutated, while the enemy chokes, coughing up their own insides. But the most terrifying part is the elixirs. An ordinary human drinking Maribor Forest would die in agony within a minute. Their hearts will hold. You drink White Rafford's decoction. Your blood thickens, clotting instantly to plug any wound. Then, thunderbolt. Your pupils dilate until the irises vanish. The world slows down. You see a drop of dew fall from a leaf. You hear the tendons of a griffin tighten as it prepares to flap its wings. The price of power. Look at your reflection in the blade. See that monster? Face white as a corpse, veins on your neck bulging and black as if tar flows through them. This is intoxication. You are on the brink of self-destruction. Your liver groans, your brain melts from the chemistry, but only this way can you be faster than lightning.
Tactics. The trap is set. You don't just rush the enemy. You set Yrden. You trace the sign in the air, and the ground beneath the monster becomes viscous like jelly. Time freezes for it. You apply hanged man's venom or hybrid oil to the blade. It smells of rot and sulfur. The oil reacts with the monster's blood, causing unbearable pain with every cut. Now you are ready. You step into the clearing. The griffin sees you. It thinks you are prey, stupid beast. It hasn't realized yet that what stands before it is not a man. It is an ideal killing machine, with nothing left inside but silver, steel, and a black, venom-poisoned will to win. You take a breath. Your senses are sharpened to the limit. You feel the wind's direction with every pore. You hear the hum of blood in your veins. The hunt is on, and in this forest today, only one will die, and it won't be you. And so the circle is closed. You returned to where it all began, Kaer Morhen. But you aren't here to die on a table of herbs. You are here to protect your daughter, your destiny. The white frost follows her, the wild hunt, a legion of wraiths from another world. They feel no pain, they know no fear. You thought you'd seen war. You've seen nothing. Real war is when space itself tears like an old rag, and from the gaping holes, icy death crawls into our world. The wild hunt. They didn't come for gold or land. They want your daughter. They want the blood that can open gates between worlds. Your state. You are at the peak of intoxication. Your endurance threshold is tripled. You've mixed Maribor Forest, Thunderbolt, and Petrie's Filter into a deadly cocktail. Your heart hammers against your ribs like a mad sledgehammer. Your pupils have swallowed the irises whole. You no longer feel the cold. You are the storm itself. When a navigator of the hunt comes at you, forget the feints. This requires raw magical power and nerves of steel. You set an active shield. Ice shards flying at you like bullets shatter helplessly against the golden aura. You feel every impact like a punch to the chest, but you don't retreat a single step. You blast a stream of fire directly into the enemy's visor. The ancient steel of the navigator begins to melt, his piercing scream drowned in the howling blizzard. You hurl Dancing Star at the feet of the hounds emerging from the portal. The magnesium flare blinds even those who have never known light. And in this chaos, you see him, Vesemir, the old wolf who taught you everything, how to hold a sword, how to stitch wounds, how to stay human in the skin of a monster. He stands against Eredin and Imlerith. You scream, you tear through the enemy ranks, opening plate armor with silver like tin cans, but you're too late. The snap of neck vertebrae, a silence more terrifying than any scream. Your mentor falls into the mud. In that moment, the world ceases to exist for you. No more tactics, no more caution, only primal Witcher rage remains. You enter a state of berserk. Your swords blur into a single shimmering line. You are a whirlwind of death. You hack, you stab, you rend. The blood of the Ain El, blue and cold, soaks your armor. That night, Kaer Morhen stood, but it ceased to be your home. It became the graveyard
of your illusions. The road always leads somewhere. Your path brought you to Toussaint, a land of wine, knights, and fairy tales that turn out to be no less bloody than the swamps of Velen. Here you completed your last great contract. You faced a higher vampire, a being older than this civilization. You saw how friendship can be stronger than death, and how betrayal can destroy an entire duchy. You stood on the edge again, drank the elixirs again, cleaned the silver of black blood again. But now everything is different. You sit on the terrace of your estate. The warm sun of Toussaint heats your old scars. You look at your hands. They no longer tremble from elixirs. They hold a glass of est, not a sword hilt. You remember them all. Lambert with his barbs, Eskel, Yennefer, whose footsteps you hear in the house, and Ciri, who now writes her own story, no longer needing your protection. The sum of the path. Who are you now? A hero of Dandelion's ballads, or still the same mutant who finally found a place where people don't throw stones? You've lived over 100 years. You've seen empires born and die. You've seen all the filth of this world and a little of its beauty. You didn't become a saint, but you didn't become the animal the mages in Kaer Morhen wanted you to be. You pull out your old medallion. The wolf is still snarling, but its eyes no longer glow with an anxious light. You did your job. You cleaned this world as much as was possible. You look straight into the camera, into the eyes of the one who walked this path with you. Do we have any business left? You ask yourself, and you answer with a smile. The hardest adventure is simply learning how to live, without swords, without monsters, without contracts. You did it, Witcher. Time to rest. This was your path, this was your story, and this is your life.